everybody, how's it going? It's a Daily Shooter, and today I've got a pretty cool review for you. We're going to be taking a look at the Sig Sauer Romeo 3 red dot. This is a great little red dot that won't break the bank, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, before we get started, I did want to let you guys know that this Sig Sauer Romeo 3 was sent to the channel by Optics Planet. They are a huge supporter of the channel, so I always try and support them as well. I'll have a link down in the comments section, not the description box, but the comments section, directly to this product, and you can use the discount code TDS5 as always and save a little bit of money on your entire order. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off by going over some of the tech specs, details, and features, and then I'll give you guys my own personal thoughts and opinion on this optic now that I've had a chance to use it for the past 5 weeks or so. Now, starting off with the details and features, this optic right here has a 3 MOA red dot. So it's big enough to see, it's very easy to acquire, and it is perfect for targets that I would say are 100 yards and in, because remember, 3 MOA dot is going to cover approximately 3 inches at 100 yards. So as you go out further than that, it's going to start covering up more and more of your target. For instance, at 200 yards at a 3 MOA dot, you're looking at over 6 inches of coverage on your target. So it's better for those up close type things. Now, this does have 11 different brightness settings. It has 9 daytime settings, and it does get extremely bright. It has some really nice coatings on the glass that allows the red dot to reflect back to your eye very nice and brightly, so you can pick it up very easy and very fast, even in my conditions, which are desert-like conditions. You're talking brown sand and extremely bright outside, and I can still pick it up no problem. I just put it on either the brightest setting or the setting that is directly next to the brightest, excuse me. It also has 2 night vision settings, so if you happen to be using this with some type of night vision device, you have 2 different night vision settings. Now, some other features that I really like about this optic are the fact that when you buy it, it comes with a QD mount. So this QD mount is already pre-installed, and it is a locking mount, which is nice over some of the other models that you might find out there that are a little bit less expensive. They'll have a standard QD mount with a side switch here that you can just flip right over, and it will take the optic off. This one right here is locking, meaning that when you bring that lever over, it will actually lock to the rear of the optic itself, and it's not coming off unless you depress the button, which is located directly behind it, and then at that point you can go ahead and flip that over and take it off of your mount. It's a 1913 style picatinny rail attachment right here. It is a riser to a 1/3 co-witness, and it has some kind of breakup pattern. This is basically what they call their stealth technology. So what it is, it's almost like an urban camo. So instead of having everything completely squared off, there's several different types of edges and angles that they use to sort of hide the overall look of the optic itself. So you can see that on the mount, there's several different types of angles. There's several angles on the optic itself, a round hood, and then angles in the front that kind of veer off to the left and right. So it doesn't really, provide a perfect outline of what somebody might consider an optic. So it's pretty cool. Now, the other thing that I really like about it is that these buttons on the side are very easy to use. Simply in the front right here, you would press the down button, and obviously your brightness setting is going to go down. In the back, you press the up button, and the brightness level goes up. You can go ahead and press the 2, hold them down for just a second, it'll turn the optic off, but this actually has a motion sensor in it. So once this thing sits for a little while, it turns itself off. Now, that can be a downside. There's a lot of optics out there who turn themselves off, and then you have to manually turn it back on again to use it. But this has that motion sensor technology where once it turns itself off, all you have to do is just barely move whatever rifle or pistol you have this thing mounted to, barely move it, and it pops right back onto the setting that you previously had it on. So it does have that memory. If you have it on the brightest setting and it goes to sleep, once you pick it up again, it's going to be on that brightest setting again. So that's nice. The fact that it just turns itself on means that it's going to be like an always-on optic. This is definitely something that's very nice. I believe they actually have one in black. This one right here is their stealth gray with a black base, but I believe they also have one that is black on black. It runs off of a standard CR2032 battery, which is located in this pop-out compartment on the side. One thing that's different about this pop-out compartment on the side is that it doesn't require any tools to remove. So it doesn't require a hex head, or it doesn't require, a torque wrench or anything crazy, or there's no tools required. You just have to get something in there, pop it out. You can even use your fingernail, pop that tray out, pull it out, and put it back in with a fresh battery. It is waterproof. It's IPX7 waterproof, fog-proof, drop-proof, shock-proof. You can use this on shotguns, rifles, just about whatever you want. I mean, it's even machine gun rated. So it's definitely going to be a tough little optic here. One of the other things I really like about it is that this is compatible with some Sig Sauer pistols. I don't own any pistols that it would be compatible with, but you can look up a compatibility list, and you can actually take this thing off the mount and put it on a pistol. So that's pretty nice as well. Now, I've had this little red dot hooked up to a couple different rifles. I put maybe 1,000 rounds total through both rifles with this optic on, both 5.56 and 308, and it's held up perfectly fine. I haven't had any problems with zero. It was very easy for me to pick up. It's got a really nice natural position to it. Because it is an open style sight instead of a tubular sight, you don't kind of get that tunnel vision that you do with a lot of other sights like micro reflex sights. Any type of tubular micro sight gives you that, it's kind of hard to explain, but it gives you that tubular tunnel vision when you look through it, where it feels like everything else becomes blurry and you see just that little hole that you're looking through. This doesn't really give you that. Because you can shoot both eyes open and it's a completely open design, you feel like you can see your target and everything around it. Now, that's just my personal opinion. That's something that I've really seen through all open style sights like this. It just seems to be like a better sight picture when you have something that doesn't require a tube. Now, another thing that's really important to me, this is something that it's always been kind of a pet peeve, is that the click values are correct on the adjustment turrets for windage and elevation. There's some optics that I've had in the past where you make your adjustment and it seems wrong, because you'll do one click, which is maybe a half an MOA, and you'll get an MOA difference in distance, and it just doesn't make sense. This is a 1 MOA click, windage and elevation, and when you turn it 1 MOA, you get 1 MOA of windage or elevation. It seems to be pretty much dead on, so that's something that's nice for me, because if I'm going to be changing rifles like I did with this, and I need to change the windage and elevation, then it's nice to know that I'm getting those exact values of 1 MOA. So I found that to be really nice as well. But I mean, to put it to you bluntly, if you're somebody that already bought this optic, I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just a great little optic. It projects a red dot. Your bullet goes where the red dot is. Simple as that. When you're talking about 50 yards and out, you're talking about parallax free. There is very, very minimal parallax. Now, I know it's supposed to be parallax free, but I haven't seen a single optic that is completely parallax free, vertical or horizontal, when you're talking about within 50 yards. But when you're talking about out 50 yards and even at 25 yards, I mean, you really won't notice a difference at that point. But the fact that you don't have to worry about parallax means no matter how your eye is sitting behind the optic, whether or not you're off just a little bit, it doesn't matter. As long as that red dot is on the target, you're going to hit that target. And that's one thing that I like, kind of leads to more confident shooting, because unlike a scope where you have to be perfectly in the eye box in order to get the right parallax, this allows you to just take your shot no matter where you're sitting. So it also makes it kind of a faster, more quicker, easy to acquire options. So again, this is the Sig Sauer Romeo 3 red dot. A great little red dot, extremely lightweight, very small footprint, easy to use, fits on any Picatinny rail, and I think comes in at a very, very nice price point. So something worth checking out. Again, I'll put a link down in the comments section because I cannot put one in the description box down below. Use the discount code TDS5, save 5% on your entire order at Optics Planet. Again, thank you to Optics Planet very much for sending this over to the channel for me to review. It ended up being a great optic. Thank you all very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Special thanks to all my Patreons out there. Please like, subscribe. You guys have a great day.